here on OPB.
These are the television stations of Oregon Public Broadcasting.
This program is made possible by grants from the U.S. Shoe Corporation, makers of Easy Spirit shoes, designed for comfort, performance, and style for today's walking woman.
And by Leshner Financial, offering private investment management, and the Midwest Group of Mutual Funds, proud to support public TV.
Namaste and welcome. Welcome to you that are attending class for the first time, and those of you who are old friends of mine, old friends, many of you out there, you have been part of my classes for many years. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it so much. I really do. I'd like to talk today and start our class off with two words that I'm finding very important, and I think you have too in your life, which is because the world makes us makes these two words very known to us. One is stress and the other is tension. And goodness, so many stress management workshops that are popping up all over the country and probably all over the world because stress does take its toll upon our physical and our mental health. I think the word tension, however, has gotten a very bad reputation. Tension is an important part of our lives. It builds bridges, excitement of life. It's the start of the race feeling, and without it, I wouldn't feel creative. I always feel something kind of burbling around, and that's a very positive part to tension. But when it gets up into the high decibels of stress, and it literally burrows into the muscles of our body very easily, and stays in the muscles of our body year after year after year, no wonder there is a word called dis-ease, or dis-easiness of the body. And this is why the study of yoga for years and years is really like money in the bank for you and for me. So I hope that you will continue, and we'll talk more as these classes go by about tension and stress. If you would think for a moment that you have a tension triangle, I'm always talking about triangles, but it's a wonderful symbol. And the tension triangle that I talk about today is between the forehead and your shoulders. There are a lot of muscles that are in this triangular area that register anger, emotions, depression, you name it. If it's negative, it registers in the muscles, especially between our eyebrows, the muscles of communication around your eyes, your jaw, and your throat. Simple exercises like I'm going to show you done during your day can be of great help to you. One is, well, you'd have to do this one probably in private, is making a pruned face. Yes. If you're in the room with me right now, it's just you and me, but it's just squeezing those muscles right here, because when you have a depressed or worried thought, it registers in these muscles between your eyebrows. So if you just squeeze them, as I'm doing now, are you doing it with me? All right. Everybody into action now to prune face, which is squeezing the lines between the eyes and your cheeks and your mouth, and not clenching the jaw, but pursing the lips together. I can make this face. You can too. All right, breathe in if you can through the nose, and hold the breath comfortably, and then exhale, release, and just let all those muscles around your eyes soften. Because release, relaxation is a feeling, and softness, melting, all of those are feelings. If you can, what does stress feel like in your body? Where does it hit you? Jaw? Knots in your stomach? Good, at least identify it. All right, for the jaw, massage the jaw. At least identify it, and then you can do something about it. I can do something about it. This is a very strong muscle. Now move up and down with that jaw muscle. Create space. Good. Close your eyes and observe the space between your jaw and your teeth, and catch yourself, if you can, clenching times during your day when you clench your teeth. It's not easy, is it, living sometimes? No, but there's an antidote, and that's what we're doing right now. Shoulder tapping. This big trapezius muscle carries the weight of the world. And it's nice to sort of tap and say hi to yourself for one thing, instead of say, done a good job, as you pat yourself, but it also removes that tightness in the shoulder area. I've made my hand like a little tent, and so it's not a flat hand, it's like a tent, and it's just a gentle pummeling. And let that shoulder get very long. Good, keep going. Close your eyes, enjoy it. And then stop for a moment and feel a difference in one shoulder compared to the other. So you become more mindful of where you are in the body and what this body feels like. All right, let's cross over with the other arm. Remember, it's across the chest. There you go. And then you gently pummel that muscle. This is something, you can do in the boardroom. Well, maybe you couldn't, but you could just take your jacket off at some time and close the door and just do a few of these, gently pummeling, or show everybody in the boardroom how to do it. They probably need it too. Okay, and then stop for a moment, pause, and you can mentally let your day go from your shoulders and just drain out your arms. Anything that you want to use to release, to let go, and let the flow of energy happen. Neck tilt, an easy one. I hope that your tie is not on, that you have a openness of the neck. Sitting tall, sitting on your sitting bones. All right? We're going to just tilt the head. Now, why don't you go in my direction? It'll be to the left, or whatever direction that you wish to go in, but sit tall first, and then tilt your left ear towards your shoulder, but not the shoulder up to the ear, and then put your opposite hand on the floor. This is a mastoideus muscle. It's called a very long muscle in our body, and it gathers tension until it's stressful, and that's where I think we get a lot of our headaches come from, when we don't lengthen this neck. I'm pausing here for purposeful 30 seconds or so to stretch that muscle out. Don't lean, and then slowly come back to home where the nose, chin, and breastbone are in alignment, and feel the difference in the one side compared to the other. Do you feel a difference? Do you feel one side sort of shorter than the other? Neck tilt in the other direction. First, the great sky hook at the top of the head that sort of lifts and lengthens your spine. Mindfully tilt your head now to the opposite shoulder, not forcing the ear to the shoulder, and then dropping, if you're going to the right, left hand to the floor. And let this long muscle stretch out. Neck tilt, you have about 9 pounds of the head going in one direction and the arm going in another. And just pause there. Breathing comfortably. It's really worth your while to take your time with these exercises. All these are mentioned in my book, and I'm very glad that you like it. Thank you for telling me so. I really appreciate that. Back then to center position, nose, chin, breastbone. Feel the sensation which follows. This is important. The lengthening, how good that feels. Wonderful. There's more to say about stress. So tune in, same time, same station, and we will continue more talk about stress management in the yoga way. All right, I have my belt here that I've reminded you to maybe bring to class, maybe do some stretches before class. I might not use it, but today I'm going to. I'm also going to use a pillow here that I have brought. Most television rooms have got a pillow to use. We're going to stretch out the hamstrings as we have done in a previous class. And I have here a karate belt. It's a very soft belt. You can certainly use a tie. And let us start with the right leg. And I put the belt around the ball of the foot. This is important, not your arch. It's uncomfortable if you put it on the arch. You can probably see a little bit better with my other foot. But right now, around the ball of the foot, and if you'll just watch here, I let the belt just slip between my fingers as I lower the leg. So the knees are parallel. Lower it down now even further than this. So the leg is straight, the opposite leg is bent, and your foot is on the floor. That's my left foot is on the floor. It maintains the steadiness of this pose. As I slowly lift the leg up, let the back of your leg lift you up this time, just for a little bit different. Feel the back of your leg lifting, not the tension from this strap, but the muscle lifting. And I walk the hands up, walk the hands up, walk the hands up. And pause there and extend the heel of the foot, breathing in. And as I exhale, I just stretch the back of the leg. If you want to, you can ease this knee, but go back to where you are comfortable, not where I am, but where you are comfortable, with this kneecap pulled upwards so that the whole muscle is energized and no stress in the back of the knees. All right, lower down a little bit, and if you would, just put the right hand on the crease of your hip. And now, again, pushing downwards, pull the leg towards you, and feel that downward motion. And that's the way this leg raise should feel, this hamstring stretch, that there's a downward pull, and you can really feel that if you put your thumb there and push down. You really get more out of this posture by doing that. And then release slowly. Put the left foot on the inside of the belt, and you can see that it's on the ball of the foot, and then lower the leg down. The right foot is maintaining the balance of your pelvis. All right, and now extending the heel, lifting from the back of the leg, slowly lift. Let the muscles lift you, not the tension of the belt, as I am coming up, coming up, coming up. And then just for remembrance, I'm pushing down on that thumb of my right thumb into the crease of the right hip. And so there's a downward pull as well as this pull that's above the head. A downward pull of the hamstrings as well as over the top of my head. No pain. Kneecap is pulled up, activating these muscles in the front of the thigh. Breathing, release slightly, and then pulling gently, so that there's a very sensible, slow way of stretching the hamstrings. And then down. Remove your belt. Just put it to the side, and will you just roll over now? Roll over towards me so that your back will really enjoy this. So you roll over, knees into your chest, put the top hand to the floor, and come up into a sitting position. What I've done now is to stretch the hamstrings and preparing ourselves for dog stretch. So dog stretch. We've done this before, and if you're new today, just come onto the knees, and we'll start in mecha pose. This gives you the good base, a good aligned base of knees, feet, hands reached out and stretched like a star. I'm going to put my hand over here for a moment. I'd like you to see what I mean by that. My hands are stretched out like a star. That means that the middle finger cuts right to the center of this wrist, and I'm activating really all the pressure points beneath my hand. They are said to have about 30 pressure points of power and strength underneath that hand. So let's use them now as we now place the hands strongly and with mindfulness stretched out in front of you, and reach and stretch. Stretch with your arms, and then you keep your hands there, right? As you come up onto the knees, don't move the knees and you don't move the feet, turning the toes under. Remember the sitting bones now, as we start to lift the sitting bones up to the ceiling, lifting them up and up with my knees slightly eased. That means slightly bent. All right, head then, push gently between the upper arms, and to stretch the hamstrings one more time. Right heel not forced to the floor, with the right leg straight, and then lifting the heel off, and then the other leg straight, sort of. It has to be to your stretch, not force. And then gently, heels off. And let's pay a little bit more attention now to your arms. Come down and just look here for a second. Just as we did the hands, the wrists and the elbows and the arms in dog stretch are very important. We have a triangle, another triangle here of elbows. And we can form, it can become very painful in the back of the elbow if you are pushing too much weight in a hyperextended way into this elbow. So try to find that straight line. It's as if the energy of this pose, the energy of the upper arms is going in this direction. Do you see? Do that with your hand for a moment. Around your upper arm, around. And then the energy from the lower arm is going in this direction, towards the right, as the upper arm going in the opposite direction. Let's just try that again, and you can experience it perhaps a little bit more than just watching it. Mecha pose first. Come onto the knees, lifting the sitting bones upwards, and then pushing against the heels of your hands. Taking care now of your elbows. As you're thinking about the energy of the upper arm going outwards and the lower arm going inwards, and keeping that triangle of your elbows free. Breathing, everybody, breathe in and exhale. Heels a little bit to the floor and in knees slightly bent. And now bring the knees to the floor. Well, it's really impossible to say everything that there is to say about a dog stretch. I could spend a full half hour on it. Add one more thing now for today, which is a dog stretch side to side, which is a strengthening exercise. You might not be able to do it today, but if you watch this half hour again, perhaps a year from now or 6 months from now, give it a try. If you're struggling with it, please don't do it. But for those of you that are level 2 and 3, stretching first in mecha pose, come onto the table, turning the toes under, and now I'd like you to turn your feet so they are in a straight line, as I've just done there. Turning the toes to a straight line, the toes are facing to the right for me, and I'm going to just go down on my left hip. Down. I'm still keeping the balance with my hands. Go down, don't touch. Then back up into the dog stretch. And let's try this on the opposite side. Turning the toes in a straight line, and then putting a little bit more weight on that right hand. Then slowly come down, don't touch the hip, and then back up into Mukhasana, or a dog stretch. And then sit down. Ha-ha. A little bit of a challenge there. Now let's just work the hands a bit. Putting now your hands on the knees, and once again, imagining that any luggage, baggage, stressfulness from the shoulders, let it just drain out your arms. Taking an exhalation, on the exhalation, and if you start there, it's like giving back to this air that gives us so much. And then breathing, just letting the abdominal muscle soften as you breathe in. Letting the air flow in up under the collarbone, the pause, and then the exhalation out and out. And as you exhale, make it a long exhalation. This is very soothing to the nervous system. As you exhale and just gently pulling the muscle in and up. It's a very gentle, subtle move. That is something that you can do also during your day, is to see how are you breathing. Are you breathing kind of erratically? And you can solve that by a long, slow exhalation, and no one will know, just yourself. And that's strengthening to know that you've got those tools inside of you. A pillow. This is a firm pillow. It's a small one. It's a really good one for my home. Perhaps you have one in your room. We're going to fold it in two now. And we're going to use it beneath the hips. So if you will just lie down on your abdomen, we're going to do a cobra and a locust. And where you place this pillow is important. If you put it above your hip bones, above the hip bones, you'll be able to rise up and down with ease. And if you put them behind the hip bones, then that's for the legs, to help you lift the legs. Remember that this pillow is just an aid to really teach the muscles of the body, and then you put it away. Will you fold the pillow and put the rounded pillow above your hip bones, arms alongside of your body, and put the forehead on the floor. Just the forehead is on the floor, and pull your shoulders back and down. We're about to start a nice cobra warm-up for your spine and the muscles in your back. Raise the forehead, nose, and chin. And lifting the chest off the ground, not throwing yourself up, but stretch your fingers towards the heels of your feet. And then lower the chest down. Tuck in your chin, nose, and forehead. And now, would you like to look here for a second? If you bring the shoulders up, back and down, that's what I want. And you do that now as you raise forehead, nose, chin, shoulders up, back, and down, and lifting, breathing, and not looking up to the ceiling, but just comfortable between your eyebrows, and then back down. Tuck in your nose, your chin, your forehead, and once more time, raise forehead, nose, and chin. Inhaling, lifting, muscles lift you. As can you squeeze a lemon between the shoulders and stretch the arms towards the heels of your feet. All right, now remove the pillow for a moment. Just remove the pillow for a moment and just let your whole back melt into your floor. Take a breath in. As you can feel yourself breathing from this position, it's interesting. Different sort of awareness. All right, now let's fold this pillow. Again, fold it in half. And placing it now back of the hip area. It's behind the hips this time. It will help you then to do the beginnings of locust pose. Let's try one leg at a time. Stretching the leg out of the hip socket. Not jamming the hips, but stretching that right leg up and lifting the right leg up. You don't have to, not how high you get it, the slowness, the comfort of your back, and then down to touch. Extend the other leg up and down, touch. And then both legs now. Open the legs up a bit wide, a little bit, perhaps about hip distance apart. Stretch the legs back, 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 and then slowly lift them. My buttock muscle is contracting and the muscles of the backs of the thighs. Dropping the head comfortably, making a pillow out of the hands, and then legs to the ground, breathing in. Let your exhalation lift. Good. Are your legs apart? I hope so. Not how high you go. And then to the floor, breathing in. And last time, exhaling, lifting. Good. As you are holding, fine, squeezing the seat muscle, and then to the floor. So you have about 3 times each side. Now, would you just bring the pillow out? As then you just breathe for a moment with the feet apart, breathing in, and let yourself sink into your surface. Fine. Place the hands beneath your shoulders, and come up and into Mecca once again, stretching and reaching and stretching, and then legs out in front of you. Legs out in front of you. Bring your right leg over your left leg, with the leg straight, right leg over left, as we do a very simple twist with the left hand outside of that right knee. Inhaling, stretch the right arm up as you breathe in, right arm up, and then place it behind you as you exhale. Sitting tall, take a breath in, and slowly the exhalation begins to turn your ribs to the right, and turning your shoulders, not yanking, to the right. And lastly, your eyes, applying pressure where your hands meet floor and knee, the pause, and then releasing the nose, the chin, and then back home. Crossover, left over right. You with me? Right hand to left knee. I get confused doing this too. Lifting the left arm up, breathing in, and then placing the hand behind you. Take a breath in, and then let the navel lead you to the left, slowly, with awareness. Close your eyes as the ribs turn to the left, and shoulders, and then the chin. Look way around your shoulder. Can you see behind your eyes, behind your head? And then you release slowly, slowly. Very nice. Very good class, everyone. Remember to bring your pillow and your belt another time, because we'll be using them again. And let's lie down. And we'll do some more breathing from a lying down position. Sitting tall, knees slightly apart. Soft C with the back, pulling the belly muscle up as you slowly roll down, each vertebra touching one at a time, each vertebra to the floor. Press your shoulders in or your elbows into the floor. Walk shoulder blades in towards your spine. Good. Straighten right leg. Straighten left leg. This is relaxation pose. Palms turned upwards. And close your eyes. I hope your glasses are off. And come back to home, watching your breath as it flows easily, effortlessly, in and out of the body. The world tells you to get a grip on yourself. Go. Passively watch yourself breathe in and breathe out. And on your next out-breath, open your mouth lightly and just sigh. A long, comfortable sigh. Good. Focus your attention on the mask of your face and breathe in gently. Hold and squeeze the muscles of your face gently, and then exhaling and let the muscles all across your forehead and your mouth and your cheeks soften. Feel them softening, for relaxation is a feeling. Then focus your attention on your hands. Breathe in comfortably and stretch your hands out like a star, pausing and exhaling. Release and feel the sensation and pulsation within your hands. And then focus the attention down to the bottoms of your feet, breathing in, and then stretching the bottoms of the feet and perhaps pushing with the heels, stretching all the skin in the bottoms of the feet, pausing, exhale, and feel the feet melting. Summarize for yourself what part of life's grip that you can leave right here in this floor. And in its place, put balance and love. Continue relaxing for as long as you'd like. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.
Tonight, take a look at both sides of the controversial ballot measure to fund Oregon's schools, as State House reporter Marcia Coffey moderates a discussion by experts and the studio audience. Tune in for The Insight tonight at 9, here on OPB.